Hi, this is Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec, and today I'm going to show you how I made this page, which is a page design I've been using a lot lately. I call it my page-on-page technique. And most of the products I'm using are from Stampin' Up, the paper, the ink, as well as these two stamp sets that come with coordinating dies. It's Broadway Birthday and Pick a Pennant, and both of them are in the 2018-2019 annual catalog. Now, most of my paper is going to be black and white, and the accent colors are Lovely Lipstick, a new color, and Old Olive, but from here on in, I'm going to call them red and green. These embellishments I made with the stamps and dies before the video. It took me about an hour. Essentially, I made my own ephemera pack. And this project, you can make it with pre-made decorations. I have done this. Or you can make your own like I did. Now, to start off with in advance, I made a foundation page. I matted a piece of white cardstock that measured 11.5 inches by 11.5 inches on a piece of black cardstock. And what I'm doing here is making a wide border that I will glue to the left-hand side of my page. It's going to measure about 6 inches by 12 inches, and the leafy paper there measures 4 inches wide, the checkered paper 2 inches wide, and what I'm doing is putting in a little strip of this red paper for contrast. It's part of a 6 by 6 paper pack, but I just glued it together, and the seam in the middle, you won't see it because I will be placing paper on top of it eventually. So I'm going to glue this down to the side, and then my foundation page will be made. And what I will do after this is start creating a mini page, and that's going to be where I put my photo, my text, my title, and the decorations. Now, for this project, I'm using one 5 by 7 photo, but I have also made it with 2 and even 3 photos. Obviously, the more photos you have, the smaller the photos should be. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to layer up some cardstock underneath my photo that I already matted with white cardstock. I'm making it a little bit larger than the length of the photo, if that makes sense. And the length of the cardstock, I'm playing with it a bit. Basically, I'm justifying the photo to the left-hand side of this red cardstock, and I will do the red cardstock to the left-hand side of the black cardstock. I hope I'm making sense here. And on the right-hand side, the red and black cardstock is a bit staggered. And that is where I will place the title, the text, and the decorations. And ultimately, it's going to counterbalance the heavy border on the left-hand side of the page. Now, what I'm doing here is adhering some file tabs that I made in advance. I guess it's part of my ephemera pack, and I cut those out with some dies that I had that Stampin' Up used to sell. There are other companies that make, I'm sure you can find other companies that have file tab dies. I know you can make them with the envelope punch board that a few different companies make. Or what you can do here is just glue a little bit of paper layers to the top and the bottom of this mini page and do it in coordinating colors, or that's what I'm doing here. And once that's done, I am going to find a place for my title and my text. Now the text is going to go on these tags that I made in advance. I made them with a tag punch by Stampin' Up. These tags are very easy to make without any punch at all. It's just a strip of paper, trim the corners, and punch a hole in the middle. I made rings around the holes with a hole punch and a circle punch. And now what I'm doing is adding a bit of string. Now, I didn't have the right color string, but I had this really thick cord with green in it that matched my paper. So I basically pulled the cord apart, and that's what I'm using. So it works for me. Now I'm going to form an L towards the top corner of this cluster with these tags. And off camera, I will do my writing. You'll see it in the photos at the end of the video. And now I'm showing you the stamps and dies that I made my title with. And I punched out the word wish. That came with the Broadway birthday dies. And I stamped an expression that says, "You're never too old to make a." And I stamped that on a 1-inch piece of paper, 1-inch strip of paper. And then I transformed it into a banner. Again, I have a punch for that, a triple banner punch by Stampin' Up, but you can make that with a pair of scissors and a trimmer really easy. I'm gluing down my word wish, and then I'm going to stick that banner on with some foam adhesive just to give it a little dimension. And what you're going to see here in a minute, that thumbprint at the bottom of the page, a major gaffe on my behalf. I'm drinking a latte while I'm doing this, and my hand obviously got in some coffee fluff, which now I have on my page. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, when I glue my photo cluster, my mini page down, I'm going to have to hide it. So that's my plan at this moment, and I continue. Now those pennants in the corner I made in advance with the Pick a Pennant stamp set and dies, and I'm going to show you a bit how I stamped with it. It comes with this mini alphabet that's really cute, and what I'm doing here is the date. So I just randomly stuck the numbers to one block, inked once, stamped once, cleaned it once, and now what I'm doing is punching out the numbers with this tiny circle punch. And I did the same thing for the banners with the title Happy Birthday at the top that you'll see in a minute. And for Happy Birthday, for example, I was able to put all the letters on one block. The only letter I had to repeat was the letter H, because with this stamp set, you have multiples of certain letters. So it's really cute and convenient. Anyway, I am gluing with foam dots the date at the bottom of the page on the file tab there, and that's just to give a little repeat of the title that's in the top right hand corner. And now what I'm doing is playing around with some more of the decorations that I made. These are little birds I made with the Pick a Pennant stamp set. I wanted to show you how I did it, but my video stopped, so sorry about that. Anyway, as you can see here, I eventually decide to cover up my coffee thumbprint with another piece of white cardstock. I could have easily covered it, but it was bothering me, so what the heck, it's just a piece of paper. So now I'm about to glue this mini page to my foundation page. And once that's done, I can do the finishing touches, and what I'm doing here is gluing my Happy Birthday banner up in the corner, and I'm going to have to snip the edges here. And now I am going to work with these little birds here. The stamp set also has little bows and little flowers. It's really cute. And that hat, I made it with the Broadway birthday kit. It was a little bit too big for that bird's head, so I trimmed it. It was a pretty easy fix. And now I'm going to stick one more little bird down with a foam square. And the only thing left to do is add some words to the file tabs at the top of the page. Now I pulled out another stamp set. It's called Tabs for Everything, and it's got all kinds of little words. So I'm using the word celebrate and do today. But often in your stamp sets you can find little words. You just look around, you probably have something. Anyway, here is the final page, the final project. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And also, if you like my videos, subscribe to Scrapbooking Quebec. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.